Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. My name's FM Jellico, and you're watching episode 22 of the Dafuge Challenge with Enfield Town FC. Well, we had a productive offseason. First off, the outs. Luke Benbow, Harold Joseph, Montel Moore, Kane Lewis, Ricardo Thompson, Adam Hunt, Greeny, and Sam Jones all left on freeze. I chose not to resign any of them. Part of me wanted to re-sign Montel Moore, but his potential ability fell down to 3 stars. His physicals have started to fall, and I spent an inordinate amount of time in the off-season scouting, and I think I found at least one player who can take his place right now, and potentially 2 players who can take his place down the road. So let's take a look at those. Taylor Perry is the first one up, center midfielder who plays a really good deep lying playmaker and a really good central midfielder. 2.5-star current, 4-star potential. At least I think it's 4-star potential. The stadium photo is just right. It could be 5-star potential. That could be grayed out. I'll have to figure out another way to look at that when I can. 19 years old. He wanted a non-contract at like 180 pounds in appearance plus a goal bonus. And I was like, I really like your physicals and your mentals are really good where they count. Yeah, you're kind of horrible technically in areas, but you know what? I will sign you on a 2-year hot prospect contract at 70 pounds a week and a 50-pound appearance fee and the same goal bonus fee and a shutout bonus. And he jumped at it. But as I said, really good physicals. Mentally, he's good where it counts. Decent composure, good decision making, good determination, good positioning and teamwork, excellent vision and work rate. His anticipation, bravery, and concentration could use some work, but that'll get better as he gets older. Really good first touch, good passing, good technique. His marking could use some help too, but I can train him up on that. Next up is Mark Bentley, my first big off-season scouting find. Other than his jumping reach and his strength, which will only get better because he's only 18 at the moment, I really like his physicals. 18 years old, 2.5-star current, 4.5-star potential. Yeah, you can see that shaded in. 300 pound a week, good dribbling, good first touch, okay passing, good technique. The rest of his technicals are kind of horrible, but I can train some of those up. Good aggression, excellent determination, okay decision making, okay off the ball, really good teamwork, really good work rate. His physicals are the reason I got him. Excellent acceleration, good agility, good natural fitness, good pace, good stamina. I'm retraining him to be a left midfielder because I don't play advanced midfielders unless I really have to. One of the other reasons I got him was because he can also play defensive forward. Although, to be honest, if he is playing defensive forward, there are some serious problems going on with the team. But I am retraining him to be a left midfielder. He is going to be splitting playing time with this gentleman right here, Paul Wilson, who I will be entirely honest with you, I am not quite sure why he signed with us. He had 3 or 4 different offers, a couple from League 2 teams. My scouts found him. I scouted him. I really like him. 18 years old, 2.5-star current, 4-star potential. He wanted 250 pounds a week. That was the only contract offer I made to him. And he was like, okay, I like it, but I'm going to consider all my options. And over the course of about 10 days, I would get notifications that so-and-so team has offered him a contract. So-and-so team has offered him a contract. And I was like, okay, fine. If he goes to those other teams, what the hey? We gave it our best shot. And he didn't. He came here, and I'm not regretting it for a moment. Really good physicals, decent mentals, decent technicals where it counts. I'm also retraining him to be a left midfielder. He can also play up at the striker position, but like the last guy, if he's playing striker, we've got serious problems. Good aggression, good composure. His concentration could use some work, yeah, but he's got 17 determination. You know, at this level, at this age, that's a bonus on top of everything else. Positioning and teamwork could use some help. He's got decent work rate. He's a good passer, good crosser. Dribbling, finishing, first touch are all really good. His marking and tackling are adequate. You know, those will get better with time. He'll do a job for us. Maybe not this year, and maybe not next year, but he will definitely grow into it. Richard English is my most expensive signing ever at this point. And he plays a position that I really don't play all that much. But he's 18 years old, 4-star current ability, 4-star potential ability. Found him on a free because Solihull Moors let him go. After he had 28 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists, and a player of the match last season for them. I don't know why they would let him go. Maybe they couldn't afford him. He really doesn't have any weaknesses in his position. Really good first touch for this level. Decent passing, decent technique, good composure, good determination, good decision making. His off the ball is good. His teamwork is good. His vision is good. His work rate's good. And his physicals are more than adequate for right now. And they'll only get better as he gets older. Now he plays attacking mid. And I usually don't use one of them. However, as I found last season when my strikers were all out injured, the 3-4-1-2 I was playing with Smith in the center worked really well. And I've played that formation a couple of times, and as you can see, he's done really well for us. The plan was to play him as the defensive forward and then drop him back to the attacking midfield center, but I've been starting him at attacking midfield center more often than not. But if I want to go up to a 3-4-3, it's just a matter of moving him up. At 800 pounds a week, he's our highest paid player by far. And he's currently out with a twisted knee, but it's nothing serious. I don't know why Solihull let him go. I think that's a decision they are just going to regret. Next in is Barry Cousins, 18 years old, 2-star current, 4-star potential, pure defensive forward. It's the only reason I got him. I'm looking for defensive forward depth, and he was, by far, the best available. Yeah, his balance is horrible, and his concentration and positioning could use some work. And some of his technicals are blah. You know, the 5 crossing is kind of an eyesore, but then again, he's not really in a position that he needs to cross. And his tackling of 1 as a defensive forward is kind of iffy as well. But you know what? Good technique, good aggression, good anticipation, excellent bravery, excellent determination, flair, and leadership, 17 teamwork, 13 work rate, and other than his balance of 3, his physicals are all really good. He's only going to get better as he gets more playing time. And the ultimate kicker to this one is he also wanted a non-contract, and I was able to get him on for 75 pounds a week for the next 2 years. Next in is a name we know, Michael Thalassides, who was on Margate last season, and he actually scored a couple goals for us. 28 years old, 2-star current, 2-star potential, on a backup contract at 200 pounds a week. Brought him in to play defensive forward because he plays it better than anyone else I have on the team at the moment, but I plan on splitting him with some of my youngsters. I also brought him in to be a mentor because for this level of football, he's really good at it, especially with some of these younger players whose determination in that is already, a 2 or 3. Bringing them up to a 10 or 11 is more than excellent. He doesn't excel at any one area. He has better than average physicals in a couple of places. He's not particularly bad at any one area either. I mean, okay, yeah, his corners and his long throws are 5, his aggression's a 4, and his leadership's a 5. Everything else for the position he plays is average or above average. And I'm okay with that. He could do a job for us as a full-time starter, My intent is to start him and then pull him out at the half or pull him out at 60 minutes, let one of the youngsters get some playing time. If he needs to move over and play poacher or advance forward, he can. I'm more than comfortable starting him there for a couple of games. 200 pounds a week, what's not to like about that? Next up is William Deering, who was a similar situation as the other guy. I made my offer and didn't hear anything for 10 days and saw other teams making offers for him, and he decided to come here. And I'm really kind of glad he did. 3-star current, 4-star potential ability, 18 years old, 350 pounds a week as a central defender. Really good physicals. That balance of 5 is kind of iffy. His mentals, though, I really like. This is the big reason I made the offer for him. Good aggression, anticipation, bravery, good decision-making, excellent determination, good positioning. His work rate's also good, as is his teamwork. His tackling and marking are really good right now. He's got a heading of 8, cornering of 7. Not that I expect him to be launching any corners. His crossing and his dribbling and his first touch and his penalty taking are all horrible, but I'm not expecting him to do any of those. I'm expecting him to be a defensive stalwart. And so far, so good. Next up is Craig Hone, who I will be the first to admit I took a flyer on. He plays defensive midfielder. I usually don't play defensive midfielder, but I'm training him to be a center midfielder. Well, that is, I was training him to be a center midfielder. But as soon as I got him, Harlow wanted him on loan, and I got them to agree to play him as a central midfielder on the first team as a ball-winning midfielder. He'll get infinitely more playing time there than he would here. Okay marking, good tackling, good technique for this level. Determinations could be better, could also be a lot worse, as we've seen. Really good bravery, decent aggression, excellent teamwork, excellent work rate. Some of his physicals could use some help, but he's 18 years old. They'll get better. And I'm hoping with a decent amount of playing time at Harlow, he will come back to us better than he left. 2.5 stars I'd be more than happy with. Stuart Barber I signed because not only is he pretty physically gifted, he plays defensive right back as well. But he's a natural defensive center back and central defender. 18 years old, 2.5-star current, 4.5-star potential. He's good where he needs to be good. Good heading, good marking, good tackling, 13 determination is something I really like. Good decisions, good aggression, 16 teamwork, 13 work rate. His positioning's really good. His physicals are all really good. Natural fitness of 15, jumping reach of 13, and those are only going to get better. 300 pounds a week, that's a bargain for a player like this, especially at 18 years old. For the next 2 years, Brad Willems I signed because other than his jumping reach, his physicals, you can't ignore. 18 years old, 2-star current, 4-star potential as a center midfielder. Plays Carolero, Mazzola, and ball-winning midfielder really, really well right now. His positioning could use some work, but he's got decent decision-making, okay determination. 16 aggression paired with the 5 bravery is interesting. His marking could use a little bit of help. His tackling's adequate. His technique is really good. Well, he's got a really good first touch, and his dribbling and finishing and corners are more than adequate right now. At 75 pounds a week, you can't beat that either. He was another one of those players who wanted one of those non-contract deals. Why am I going to pay a kid 180 pounds a week, the potential that he'll get swiped by another team, when I can tie him to my team for minimal cost, especially given the buffer we have in our salary, which I'll come to in a minute. Dan Ball I signed as a backup. 2.5-star current, 2.5-star potential, 28 years old, 150 pounds a week, plays all 3 defensive back positions really, really well. And that's the primary reason I signed him, because you only get 5 substitutes in the Vanarama, you can only use 3, and you need somebody on your bench who can cover those positions, especially if you're playing a formation that has 4 defensive backs in it. Yeah, some of his technicals are poor, but they don't matter for his position. Average physicals, average mentals. His vision's a 4, and yeah, that's bad, but, he's more than adequate everywhere else. And for a backup player who's also a fairly capable tutor at 150 pounds a week, you can't pass that up, I don't think. I'm still scratching my head on Isabamba. I'm retraining him to be a defensive center back. I think he's got potential. I signed him mainly because of his mentals. His composure of 4 and his vision of 3 are bad, and I need to get those improved. But a 14 determination, 12 concentration, 15 bravery, 11 aggression, 13 decision making, paired with physicals that are already average or above average, and decent technicals where they matter, I don't know. There's something about him that just stands out to me. And again, he was one of those who wanted a non-contract offer. And I got him in on a hot prospect contract for the next 2 years at 75 pounds a week. He will be part of the center back rotation. Jack Cook, I took a flyer on. And I'll be honest, I don't remember why I took a flyer on him. He's a central midfielder. His physicals are okay. His mentals are adequate for the position he plays. His technicals are adequate for the position he plays. I can't explain it. You know, I took a flyer on him. 50 pounds a week for the next 2 years. Why wouldn't you? And our last signing comes to us on loan on August 3rd. And it's a name Enfield fans know and love. Lucas Greenberch is finally back. I have no idea what Port Vale was playing at. I went to get him back on loan, and they said, no, we want him to play better quality players. And 4 weeks later, he was still at Port Vale. And I went back and made a contract offer, and they were like, well, we're not happy with it, but make us an offer and we'll see. And they rejected it. And I went back a week later and was like, look, I'll pay some of his salary. And they rejected it. And I went back and said, I'll pay all of his salary. And again, they rejected it. About 2 weeks before the season started, I went back to them, offered to pay his salary, offered to pay £500 a week. And they turned it down. We got through the preseason, played our last friendly. I went back a couple days later, and he was still on the under-23 team. And so I went back and made a loan offer for him. Just a basic loan offer for him. No salary contribution, no monthly fee. The only thing I promised them was that he was going to play striker, and he was going to be a key player. And Port Vale was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Here you go. It's maddening. 2 days after our last friendly, he showed up. And honestly, he's picked up right where he's left off. We're 3 games into the season, as you can see. He's already got 2 goals and 4 assists. But I wish I knew what Port Vale was playing at. I don't know if that's a feature or a bug, to be honest with you, but it was just frustrating as hell. So, as I mentioned, we are 3 weeks into the season so far. We had a really good preseason. I scheduled quite a few friendlies. I was on a Saturday, Wednesday rotation with the friendlies. Almost all the teams we played were at our level or just a little bit less. We had some really good results. The 5-1 at Hereford was nice. The 4-3 at Dartford was nice. We absolutely blasted Chelmsford 5-0. Woking got us, and then we tied at Cheltenham, which was fine. Our first game in the Vanarama National was away at York City. And beforehand, their manager was like, oh, it's Enfield Town. They're here just for this year. And then they'll be back down next year where they belong, sort of thing. He's picking a fight to pick a fight. And I'm not quite sure why. York City knew they were in a game at the end of this. We definitely gave them a run for their money. Ibrahim Mide? Heck with it. Ibrahim had a brace for York City. Second 29th minute goals. Ryan Edmondson had a 63rd minute goal. Lucas Greenberch picked up right where he left off. Had a brace. 5 minutes in, 52nd minutes in with his 2 goals. Elvis Odom had a 67-minute penalty. I thought for sure we had the draw. And then Kevin Healy snuck one by in the 80th minute. It was annoying. I really just wanted to stick the York manager's face in it, but he managed to escape with a win. And then he didn't really say anything afterwards. Didn't compliment the team. Didn't say, oh, they got lucky, yada, yada, this, yada, yada, that. Was annoying as heck. Oh, yeah, we also got Elvis Odom and Luke Rawson back as well. Just the 3 lone players this year. We're doing okay there. I really want to try and avoid the, hey, half your starting 11 is all lone players. You know, I've got some good young talent in. I want to get them playing. And I've got enough talent in front of them that they should all get some playing time. Next up was a familiar foe, Tranmere at home. And they got themselves a game 2. Richard English had a hat trick. 2nd minute goal, 3rd minute goal. Tom Ashton had a 4th minute goal. 3-0 up, 5 minutes in. And we threw it away. We totally let Tranmere back into this game. I went to the counter, which I probably shouldn't have done. I just got lazy. Ben Tollett had a brace, 25th and 69th minute goals. Lewis McIntosh had a 43rd minute goal. James Norwood put Tranmere up in the 71st minute with a really nice shot. Then Richard English saved our bacon with a 77th minute goal. Tranmere was on the attack the whole game, and I didn't make things better by going on the counter. I realize that now. I should have stayed on standard. Well, I play my formations on attacking. I should have gone back to control or standard. And this was an odd game. Orient, I swear, was on the overload the entire match. They had 22 shots, 6 on target, but they only had 2 clear-cut chances and 4 half chances. It seemed as soon as their players saw the goal and saw a gap or an opening, they immediately took the shot. It was really kind of interesting to watch. I had a lot of highlights in this where it was just Orient bringing the ball forward, Orient kicking it up to someone close to the box, and then them just kicking it and skying it left or right or high. Tom Ashton had a brace for us, 2 goals in 5 minutes, and that's all we needed. The defense was really solid this game. Deering on an 8-4, Wakely on a 7-5, Barber on a 7-8 before Bamba came in. I get defensive performances like that throughout this season. We are definitely not going to be worried about a relegation fight. As it stands, though, early days. We are solidly mid-table, 12th place. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, with a 1 goal differential and 4 points. My goal is to stay at or near this position the entire season. Coming up next week, back-to-back games, home and away, against 2 teams we know pretty well, Bath City and Billericay Town. Well, we made it, maybe a year or 2 ahead of schedule, but we are in the Vanarama. Now we're competing with some of the bigger clubs. Your Billericay Towns, your Macclesfields, Cheltenhams, Sutton Uniteds, Barrows, they're all professional, which means their salaries are going to be a little bit higher than ours. They may actually have a transfer budget, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to out-scout me. And I'm reasonably sure they're not going to out-coach me. My goals for this year are mid-table. I don't think that's too far out of reach. If we finish higher, I'll be surprised. If we finish lower, I won't be too surprised, but if we find ourselves in a relegation fight, then we know the wheels have come off something somewhere in the team. So that's going to wrap things up for this episode. If you liked what you've seen and heard, please like and subscribe down below. Questions, comments, criticisms, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer them as soon as I can. My name's FM18, and I thank you for watching.